Good afternoon. My name is Jaspreet Sanda. I'm one of the STEAM coordinators for the Division of Instruction. So today we're going to take a dive into STEAM with Discovery Education. We're going to get an overview of the STEM and STEAM resources Discovery has to offer us. So I'm going to hand it over to Sarah because 30 minutes is a short amount of time. And I want to make sure all of you guys get all the information you need. So Sarah, take it away.
Well, welcome everyone. It's such a pleasure to be with you this afternoon. My name is Sarah Jahangri, and I'm the Director of Statewide and Strategic Partnerships with Discovery Education. And I am your lead all year round. So even though we're spending this very short time together this afternoon, I want you to know that you can always reach out to me anytime throughout the year at sjahangri@discoveryed.com. And I'm always happy to help. I'm also putting a resource guide into the chat right now that will also have my contact information, as well as all of the resources that I'll be sharing throughout our session today. And as well, I've got here in the slides, you'll also see the resource guide has how to access information, as well as how to get some other additional resources to help you navigate Discovery Education. So again, that's in the chat, or you can go to the bit.ly or scan the QR code. All of those will work. And this is an open resource that you can share with your peers who were not able to make it today. Please feel free to share this with everyone. Okay, we're going to go ahead and dive in. During our session today, we're going to be exploring a variety of engaging resources and ready-to-use lessons that you can use in any grade level, in all subject areas, to definitely support teaching and learning in your classroom and to strengthen in building a STEM culture within your classroom as well. And as we're going through, I'll be reviewing how to find, view, and save these resources, and then how to share them with your peers, students, and families as well. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to put them into the Q&A. I'll be checking in every little bit to make sure that we're answering any questions that you have. So just to let everybody know, the Discovery Education platform is available to all educators and students within LAUSD through a partnership with LAUSD, PepsiCo, and Discovery Education. You're going to find timely, relevant content here, again, for pre-K through all the way through grade 12, all subject areas. You're going to find embedded professional learning supports that I'll point out, as well as knowing that these are safe and vetted resources that you can use to support and supplement your core curriculum. You have access to several different products within Discovery Education. So the base platform is called Discovery Education Experience, and that is your digital library that includes resources like videos, interactives, ready-to-use lessons, audio files, all kinds of resources to support, again, all subject areas. But then you have these additional content collections for science, social studies, math, mystery science, STEM Connect, and coding that are available as well through the partnership. So I'll make sure to point out where those are, and you can find these resources as well. These are all collections that are aligned to standards and are ready to use as well and can be incorporated into your daily instruction. I want to make sure that you know how to access Discovery Education. So to access Discovery Education, there are a couple ways. And even if you've used Discovery Education in the past, there's been a few changes this fall. So I want to make sure that you're aware of the multiple ways that you and your students can access the content. First, this is brand new this fall. We are now available through the Clever app for you and your students. So you can go into your Clever app through Schoology, through the drop-down, make sure you select the district page, homepage, and then underneath instant login applications, you'll see two tiles that show Discovery Education. You can choose either one of them, and it'll take you to your homepage. The other more traditional way that we've had throughout our partnership is you can go to the to your Schoology homepage, and at the top, you'll see your waffle, and in the drop-down, you'll find Discovery Education. So for example, if I'm in Schoology, let me just move my Zoom bar. down. Okay, so if you go into Schoology, again, in your waffle, you'll find Discovery Education in the dropdown. This is for you and your students. You'll find it there, or again, you can go to the Clever portal and log in. And the other way that you can find Discovery Education is in your courses. When you go into your course, I'll just go into my sandbox. On the left-hand side, you'll also see Discovery Education there, and your students will as well, so that you can access the resources through that pathway. So 3 different ways to get to your Discovery Education homepage. If this is your first time logging in, it is going to ask you a few questions like what subject areas you teach, what grade levels, it's completing your profile. And then after you do that, you should see a page like this. Again, in your resource guide, you'll find resources there to help you with logging in as well. Now, when you come to your homepage, I want to go over a few things really quick just to help you with navigation. At the top, you have the Discovery Earth. It'll always bring you back home. So that's really important to know up here in the left-hand corner. You can search for any by any word, any phrase in the keyword search at the top. We do have a microphone to enable to search by speech. That's available for your students as well, because they also have access to the content and can utilize this for homework help, and really great for winter break to continue their learning over that time. And then there's something up here called a quick list. And I want to point this out because I'm going to be sharing some great resources with you today. And if you want to add them to your quick list to come back to, this is how you can bookmark content and put content here for a lesson you might be teaching or something you want to look more in detail at. So I'll be sharing with you how to do that. You also have your navigation bar up here at the top. Just a couple things I'll point out in your navigation bar. Under My Classrooms, that's where your rosters live. We do sync with MISIS, so you have your rosters already uploaded in Discovery Education. If you ever need any help with those rosters, just go ahead and email me. Happy to set any a one-on-one up or to answer questions through email. You also have something called Educator Supports here. This is where job aids, embedded professional learning is, so that if you want to continue your learning after our time today, you can come here, go to Getting Started, and there's going to be all kinds of step-by-step guides, as well as short interactive courses to help continue your learning. So again, that's in your navigation bar underneath Educator Supports. Now, on your homepage, you're going to have several sections, and I'm going to focus on 2 here in the opening. One of the things you're going to find there is your curriculum packs, and it might be towards the bottom of your page. If you keep scrolling, you'll see it. And this is where we're going to start with our first set of resources to support STEM education and to really help support that problem-based learning in your classroom and really developing those inquiry skills with your students. And that is through our STEM Connect program. So if you come under curriculum packs, you're going to find STEM Connect. And in STEM Connect, you're going to find various units by grade span. Up at the top in the left-hand corner, you'll see those grade spans. You'll see them for K1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 8. And as you scroll through there, you're going to find in each one of those grade spans 8 specific units of study that are aligned to the UN sustainability goals, that are follow the engineering model and really help your students develop those critical thinking skills and solve real world problems. What we love about these is that they're ready to use and ready to go. So they really require no creation on the educator part, but it really is about the implementation cycle to help your students develop those skill sets that help our students really prepare for their future. So a couple tips when you come into the STEM Connect collection, you want to make sure you turn on the teacher view. And when you do that, what it's going to do is going to open up a couple tabs. That's really important. So again, I'm going to show you where I found that. I was on my home page. I went to the section that was labeled curriculum packs, and I went to STEM Connect. Under STEM Connect, I turned on teacher view and I selected my grade span. And again, these are units for K through 8. And I am going to see 8 units of study here. So I'm going to go ahead and open up one of these units of study. I'm going to go ahead and do Waste Not, Want Not. I'll open that up. And then you'll see here, you've got all types of teacher resources. You have your materials list. You have your model lesson that I'm going to go ahead and open up. That model lesson is going to walk you through exactly what you're going to be doing in this unit of study with your students. It's going to give you your objectives. It's going to give you a synopsis of what the goals are. It's going to give you your key vocabulary, the cross-curricular connections, and your big idea and your unit design challenge tip here at the top. You're going to see that each one of these units is tied to a STEM career, and there is a video that is recorded and makes a connection to that STEM career specifically for each one of these units. And then you'll see that there's 5 challenges. There's 5 to 6 challenges in each of these lessons, and it'll give you the suggested time frame. And then it's going to walk you through each of the lesson elements. As you go through, everything is hyperlinked here, ready for you to go. So if you have not done problem-based learning in your classroom, or if you're looking for some really robust collections, these are a great place to come and start that work. You're going to see connections to the 4 C's. So your students will be working on critical thinking and communication and collaboration. They'll be doing all of that as they're going through this work. Outside of the model lesson, you'll have your handouts for your students and your teacher handouts, because there are little mini activities the students will be doing as they go through the engineering design process. That each one of these have a slideshow that go along with them that are student facing, that will walk your students through the challenges, the design phase, as well as developing their prototypes. Each lesson has the media embedded. They have that literacy component embedded, which is really great. And they'll have these characters called the solution seekers that they will follow up through the grade levels that help your students learn about these important real world issues that they are trying to solve. What's really great is that anything that is built in our slideshow is they have some really great accessibility tools like Immersive Reader over here on the left-hand side. So if your student is a struggling reader, an early reader, or a language learner, it has that text-to-speech component here, as well as translation into 70 languages with the little book up here at the top that the students can choose from. It'll read it in that language. They can translate by word or by the entire document and toggle between their native language and English. So all of this is built into these units of study. We're not going to be taking a huge dive deep into these today, but I wanted you to make you aware that you have these units, and we're actually going to be doing another session completely focused on STEM Connect in late January. So look out for that in registering that for that coming up in my PLN very soon. So we wanted to let you know that you have those there under STEM Connect. So that is the first link that you'll see in your resource guide. Another thing that we have in Discovery Education is called channels, and channels are collections of content based on a topic or a theme. And STEM and STEAM is at the forefront of what we do at Discovery Education. So we have quite a lot of channels very focused on this particular topic. And so you're going to find all types of collections, from virtual field trips to animated series to projects and partnerships with those out in the field. So you're going to see all types of these collections of content that you can find resources and ready to use lessons embedded in them to help you get started in utilizing that content. And I've featured just a handful of them in this session, and I'm going to highlight a few of them with you. I just want to show you quickly that channels, you're going to find channels on your homepage. It'll be a section called My Channels. This is something you can customize on your homepage. You can add them, take them away. So if there are some channels that you see today and you want to add them to your homepage so you don't have to go find them again, I'm going to show you how to do this in this section as well. So let's start with a couple of the favorites. I'm going to start with early education and work my way up. Building a strong STEM culture is so important from the most primary years, teaching our kids to ask good questions, that their questions are important, and that those questions are related to everyday life. And Fistronaut is a collection specifically for pre-K2 where this animated series is doing that exact thing. These characters in this series are asking really great questions, are having and prompting your students to ask good questions, and again, building that STEM culture in your school system. So Fistronaut is a wonderful channel that you'll find. And so again, for searching, you would come up the top. And if you type in Fistronaut, it'll come right up. Kind of a weird spelling. So once you type fish, it will come up. You'll see the channel will come up. So whenever you do a search, you'll see there are all types of resources. You can sort by grade level, but channels will definitely usually come up as a first choice. Now, because I'm a pre-K 2 teacher, I might want to use this in my classroom. Remember, you can add these to your homepage by coming to the circle with the 3 dots. You can add to your channels. It's already in my channel, so it's saying I can remove it, but I'm going to add it here. I can also add it to that quick list that I mentioned at the top. So here at the top, you'll have your quick list that you can come back and look at that. Now, when I go into the channel, it'll give a quick description. And then one thing that's great, anytime you see instructional activities, you'll see in this channel, these have ready to use lessons that already coincide with some of the episodes from this series. So I'll go into those in just a minute, but I wanted to show you that the series is separated into the different disciplines in science, so earth, animal life, local environmental action, and these scrollable rows have a series of the different videos, again, that will go into those different themes that they're talking about. Now, if I come into one of these ready to use activities, it's going to open it in Studio, very similar to what you saw in STEM Connect. So I have that immersive reader there still. And then you'll go in and it'll give you a quick opening or anticipatory set to go into what they're going to be learning about. So to get that conversation, having those constructive conversations. This one is they all incorporate literacy skills. So again, those cross-curricular connections, what is the setting and what do they tell you about the story? And then they're going to be working on context clues, some vocabulary development, and you'll see it'll walk you through, and it's using parts of the series to help your students learn about this particular topic area. So again, these ready to use lessons you're going to find throughout these channels and help again build that STEM culture in the classroom. Okay, moving on. I chose this collection, Engine, because what I love about this particular channel is it features a STEM series that comes from South Africa. And I love this because it's so important to help our students understand that STEM isn't just something we're doing here in Los Angeles, but that's something that we're focusing on globally. And that this is a huge priority in preparing us for our future and doing really great work and to help our communities, not only in the job force, but also saving our earth and doing everything that we can to support so many fields out in our communities. So Engine is, again, a series based out of South Africa with several different units or episodes. So if you come up here, you'll see the different tabs at the top. You can go into full episodes and there's different topics that they focus on: the brain, the senses, space, robots. You'll see here water, which is such a local thing that we are always concerned about here in California. So when you go into any of these videos, they're segmented. So I wanted to just show you a few features in our videos. You'll see that this is a 23-minute video. You can see what standards it's tied to right up here at the top. You can click on the curriculum standards that it's aligned to. When you come down to the bottom, I'll give you a little quick description. And here, one thing to note is our videos, if they're of any significant length, they're broken up into segments. This one has 9 segments. So you could use this throughout a series of lessons and not have to use every part of it. Just definitely depends on what your needs are. And then one other thing I want to note is this has closed captioning here. So for accessibility for your students, if you start playing the video, I'm going to turn that down just for a minute. You'll see in closed captioning, you can enable that closed captioning in English and many of our videos now in other languages, so that your students can be reading, seeing, and hearing that content at the same time and engage in the work that they're learning about. So you'll see that as a tool. And then there's different ways you can share this with your students. So the first thing that you can do is you can build an activity. You can add quiz questions to any video and make them interactive. You can assign a video directly to your students. I'm going to show you quickly how to do that. You can come here to assign. You can ask them to watch the video and be ready to discuss in class tomorrow. Flip your classroom, add a date that you want them to do that. I'm going to do it in real time, but you can plan ahead. You can have a due date when you want them. You're going to maybe discuss this next Tuesday. And this is where those rosters come into play. You'll be able to select one class or multiple classes. If you're in secondary and you have multiple periods, you can select multiple periods. And you can even differentiate. Maybe you're working on a small project with a certain group. You can just select certain students right from here. Click assign and okay. And once you assign that to your students, they're going to find it in their login, which looks like this. This is their login. They come in, they have a search, a home page, but they have an assignments tab here at the top. They'll come there and you'll see now that video's there for them, available for them to watch, to go in and learn. So it's very easy to assign within Discovery Education. Or if you prefer, you're using Schoology assignments, you can grab a share link and share it with your students as well. So any of those will work. And the majority of our videos and songs and text are downloadable. So you can also download these and upload them into whatever system you prefer. So if you're using Google Slides or you're using Seesaw, you can download these and upload them into what you see fit. So lots of ways to share the content with your students and peers. So InGen is just a really great collection of really great videos and resources to, again, help build that STEM culture. Now, focusing in on STEM careers, we want our students to see what kind of careers are out there, learn from those who are doing the work in the field. And we have two particular channels that are great and have content, again, for all grade levels. Our first is the STEM Careers channel. So you can search for STEM careers in your keyword search. It'll come up. It'll bring this up. This is a living resource. So we're adding actually new STEM careers at all the time and really great resources to this particular channel. Right now I'm in the 6-8 collection here at the top. So you can see this one has multiple grade spans to choose from. You can also look at what different partners we're working with out in the industry, because you can see we have partnerships with lots of different companies and bringing some of these careers forward. They offer virtual field trips, things like that, to, again, make those connections for our students. Now, as you come down, you'll see scrollable rows again. The DE picks are some of our most popular careers that teachers are finding valuable across the country and across the globe. But there are some really great activities that are in this particular channel I want to highlight. You'll see anytime there's a PDF activity, that means that's an actual lesson that goes with that particular career. And something that's really popular are STEM career student challenges. So in this, for example, if a student wanted to learn about what does a virtual reality developer do, they can come into this. It's a pre-built, ready-to-use lesson. They'll learn about what is a VR developer. You know, VR, virtual reality, is really becoming popular out there. There's a video for an elementary student versus a secondary student. So it's already differentiated here where they'll get to learn a little bit more about that particular career. And then here at the top, on the next slide, it'll talk about what's the average salary, what are required skills and careers, similar careers that go along with this, what they do, how you get the job, gives them some nice information. And then what I love is the third page. The third page really gives the students background into the career, and it gives a little mini challenge that isn't going to take a ton of time, but will give them some insight into what a job like this is in the field. So they'll be able to come here in, learn about that, explore, and do that challenge. And then always on the fourth page, if this is something they're interested in learning more about, we have an extend your learning. So there's a couple more videos there so that they can dive deeper. And then of course they can search within Discovery Education and find additional content. So these have the immersive reader built in, again, to support with accessibility. And these again can be assigned to your students. The assigned tab is right here at the top. You can make a copy of these and tweak them if you'd like. We'll be talking a little bit about that in future sessions, but just to note that you can tweak these ready-to-use lessons and make them your own as well if you want to adjust any of the language, etc. All right, any questions so far? I know I'm going a little bit fast, but I want to make sure I show you all. Today's are really about giving you a little taste of a lot of different things that you have in Discovery Education. So feel free to put any questions or comments in the chat. I just want to point out this second channel. It's on your resource guide. It's called If Then STEM Professionals, really focusing on women in STEM and different careers that they take. So it's a second career channel, really focused on women and the different amazing STEM careers that are out there. So great other channel to explore with your students. All right, virtual field trips, one of our most popular channels out there. It's a really great opportunity to bring the world to your students. And it is full of connections to STEM and STEAM topics, lots of different collections. We have added several new virtual field trips just alone this fall. So to find that, you would just come up again, type in virtual field trips. And as virtual field trips are launched, they are added to this channel, as well as some of these virtual field trips have their own channel as well with ready-to-use content. You'll see the grade spans here at the top. Some popular ones that have happened just in the last year, Winning with STEM is an awesome new virtual field trip that we did last spring with Katie Ledecky and Panasonic, where students get to go visit different Panasonic manufacturing plants around the country, and they learn about e-batteries, the development of e-batteries, e-cars, e-bikes, which are becoming so popular, and how these companies are working on that, and definitely for sustainability and helping with different environmental factors. So we're really excited about this. We're looking to do more partnerships with them, but it's an awesome virtual field trip that we did last year. And we had one that just launched this morning. So I'm so excited that we're doing this today. This one is more for grades 2 through 6. It's with Lego. And we just started a new partnership with Lego. And they have a whole new collection. It's a new virtual field trip with an educator guide as well as a family guide. So it's called Build the Change. So if you just type in Lego, it'll come right up. Launched this morning. You'll be able now to watch the virtual field trip live right from here. And it's all about learning through play. So again, going back to building that STEAM culture, it's so important to be creative. And they talk about the importance of when we have a problem to solve, that's when our creativity should come in full gear, and we should be playing and trying to figure out a solution. And it talks about that, and it's focused on sustainability, which is really awesome. It goes a lot with the climate literacy where we're doing in LAUSD right now. So if you go to the supporting resources, there's an educator guide, an instructional hook that gets the students into the actual virtual field trip. And there's an actual family viewing guide with this one that will take your students through doing a project at home where they are setting up a small little garden with some native plants from their community. So, and bringing in more green spaces into our community. So again, if you look, Build the Change, that's a new virtual field trip that just came out. And what I did in your slideshow is just highlight several different popular ones on this topic. Farming to the Future we did last year. It's an awesome field trip of learning how farmers are working in current times and what they're doing to change their practices to make sure that they're meeting our needs in our communities. You'll see a new virtual field trip that we did to train technologies, very geared towards secondary, but talking about sustainable futures. Love Your Heart was done last year. It's all about our heart and really important information there. Really great to share with your students. So you can see just a ton of virtual experiences that your students can work through. And if you go into and search any of these topics, there's ready to use lessons that go with along with many of them. Okay. All right, we're coming to the end of our time. One that's coming up is Working in Harmony. I forgot to mention this with the Country Music Awards about STEM and STEAM careers. So look out for that in January. That's coming up soon. Know that there's also professional learning around STEM and STEAM topics in discovery education and Tiger EDU. This is with the Tiger Woods Foundation. We have some really great STEM Unplugged lessons in both in English and Spanish, but there's some great PD in here for you as educators around STEM and STEAM instruction. So that's a great topic. And then I included some slides around climate literacy because I know that's so important right now in some of the work that we're doing around the globe, but especially in LAUSD with the new resolution. So super excited to share some content there with you. There's never enough time. I've included some interactives as well. Know that those interactives, if you can't do hands-on learning, these interactives are really great as well around STEM and STEAM topics. I think one thing that you can do, you'll see all of the links to all of these resources in your resource guide. But if you want to get started, just come in to your homepage, type in the word STEM, and you are going to see so much amazing content right there at your fingertips. I've highlighted some of the newest and greatest content that we have, narrow down by your grade span, and then you can narrow down in what you're looking for. If you're looking for an interactive, an activity, a channel, you'll be able to find resources to help definitely engage your students. Don't forget that you do have that resource guide. I'm going to repost that in our chat so that everybody has it there. It looks like this. So at the beginning of the resource guide, you're going to find those how to log in or how to access slides. And then scroll down to page 4, because that's where all of the heart of this work, I've put links to everything I've shared and a little more, including some of those ready to use lessons. I've put a link to our slides, curriculum alignment documents, and my email. We do have a DIN workshop series that's going to be starting in the new year. If you're interested, it's free of charge. If you want to dive in deeper to discovery education and learn all about it, that's available to all educators in LAUSD. And I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. I'll share the link to our December newsletter as well, but please feel free to reach out to me, email me. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know. And we'll be back in January with a deep dive into STEM Connect and those ready to use units.